Warning, the show may contain some crude humor and mild swearing. Listener discretion is advised. This show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoyed listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts.
This is Smörgåsbord!
Welcome to Smörgåsbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I'm Mick, and here is my co-host,
Angel.
And here today we still have Bianca with us, our resident
Expert
in all things about Islam. Well, expert as in the sense that she knows way more than all of us, and she has first-hand experience.
Oh yeah.
And today we're covering the second part of our three-part series covering the world of food during Muslim holidays. If we covered Ramadan, a month of fasting, last episode, today we're going to cover what you do after the fast, which is Eid Al Fitr, or the festival of breaking fast.
Yeah.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's the food one.
More eats.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, if you are new to the show, this may not be the best first episode for you to listen to. We suggest going back just one episode and listening to the part 1 of this series where we cover Ramadan. And we'll put a link in the episode description in case you need it. So, like a quick recap, we did Ramadan last episode, which is just about fasting and eating only during the night.
It's more fasting than eating, which makes me sad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're going to cover Eid Al Fitr, which is the more eating than fasting festival that happens after Ramadan.
It's like reversed intermittent fasting.
Exactly.
You eat for 16 hours a day, and then you rest for 8. Then that 8 hours you're asleep.
Reading up into Eid Al Fitr, I wouldn't be surprised if some people do that. It probably does happen. I'm sure it's happened somewhere. Now, before we do go into the festival itself, I wanted to cover when Eid Al Fitr happens, and we'll hold for I think there's a siren.
That's me. I'm gonna close my window and see if it helps a little bit. It's not even open that way. Hold on.
Like we did cover Ramadan last episode, which is about fasting, Eid Al Fitr is about eating. And before we go into more about what the festival is, I'll cover quickly when it actually happens. Like Ramadan, Eid Al Fitr does not have an exact day in the calendars the way Christmas or Valentine's does for us here in the West. That's because, again, like Ramadan, Eid Al Fitr is dependent on the lunar calendar, which it happens on the very next lunar month known as Shawwal. It falls on the next lunar month after Ramadan, known as Shawwal. Shawwal.
Shawl.
Yeah.
Shamwow. Sorry. There's 2 W's.
Yeah, 2 W's.
Okay.
So for them, as their moon rises and you see the first side of the new moon, then goes that the festival begins. So Eid Al Fitr is the festival of breaking fast from Ramadan, and it's celebrated worldwide by all Muslims. And it could be quite the spread of a lot of super tasty foods. As it is a religious festival, it is both a time of reflection and starting anew, and also a time of celebration. I guess it's kind of similar to how Easter is for Christians, or I guess New Year for more secular people. Depending on the country, this festival can go on for 3 days or longer. As we mentioned, Eid Al Fitr does not always happen to land on the weekend, for example, which means if you start your 3-day festival on a Wednesday, you might as well keep celebrating throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
I would, because like Wednesday, that's Tupperware day.
You're gonna be that one who shows up to the festival with I brought my Tupperware, guys. Yeah. I'm ready for leftovers.
Yeah. You'd be surprised. Sometimes we give our own Tupperware.
Yeah.
Is it a Danish cookie tin?
Ice cream.
A legit Tupperware.
Not just like a yogurt container. Which is also what my mom uses as Tupperware. Or like margarine.
Show up to party with Tupperware. That's a proper way to do it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You should always go places with Tupperware. You never know.
You never know what kind of leftovers you can get. Party? Heck yeah.
Party.
One thing to note about Eid Al Fitr is that between the two Eids, this actually is known as the Lesser Eid. So tune in next week when we cover the Eid of all Eids, the Eid Al Adha.
It sounds so wrong. It's very diseasey sounding.
Eid.
The Eid of
sorry.
all Eids.
It's Eid, not
Eid.
Eid.
Okay, that sounds better.
I'm so good at pronunciation. Eid. No.
Eid.
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 E. Yeah.
Two E's. Okay.
Eid.
Eid.
Yeah.
To commemorate the festival, I think... okay, I'm going to pronounce this wrong again, but people would greet each other by saying Eid Mubarak?
Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which translates to just have a blessed celebration or happy Eid. Now, there are some regional variations to this, like how in Indonesia it's Selamat Lebaran, which, because Eid there is translated to Lebaran, and Selamat is, I guess, translated to like giving thanks. So it's still similar, but just pronounced or said differently. Another saying that you might hear during this time is Allahu Akbar, which means God is great, which you might see
Allah
people
Akbar.
chanting. Yeah. Which I think Allah is the God and Akbar is great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God is great.
Yeah, and you could see people either chanting or praying that throughout the day during Eid.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, essentially Eid Al Fitr, is it Fitr or Fight?
You're saying it right. Eid Al
Okay.
Fitr.
So as such, that Eid Al Fitr is the opposite of Ramadan. You're not allowed to actually fast during Eid Al Fitr.
So you have to constantly eat.
No.
No, but you can't. It's not.
Maybe
You
fasting
have
is
to eat. It's
constantly
just
not eating.
you can't.
It's
so.
like you're not fasting anymore.
Yeah, you're actually
You're not-
yeah.
Yeah.
You're just not allowed to fast. So if
Okay.
if you're seen trying to fast during Eid Al Fitr, it's actually not allowed.
Bad for you. Okay. I mean,
Now-
not bad for you. It's bad form.
Yeah. Now, there is, however, a belief among Muslims that if you do fast for 6 days after the first day, because you're not allowed to fast on the first day of Shawwal, if you do fast for 6 days throughout the month, it would be equivalent to fasting all year around. This is because, as part of the belief, is that when you fast during Ramadan or the month of Shawwal, it counts 10 times more than it would on any other day throughout the year. Which means you could cover the entire 12 months if you fast for 6 days in Shawwal and a whole month of Ramadan.
Oh, it's exponential.
Yeah.
It's
It's like
like
crazy.
you have like a fast buff.
Yeah. Like fancy religious math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Hi there, my name is Kanyeki Kamawe, and I'm the host of the Represented podcast. No matter who you are and no matter where you come from, we each have a story to tell. The Represented podcast explores individuals' life stories with the hope that we can identify with or learn from them. Subscribe and listen to the show on YouTube, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or even Spotify. You can also check us out on the Geek Happy Network website. That's geekhappynetwork.com. Finally, follow the show on Instagram at Represented Podcast to keep up with the fun stuff. Love to see you there. Peace.
So the usual, when it comes to how you go about Eid Al Fitr, begins with morning prayer where everyone gathers at a mosque or a large hall or an open space. It depends on where you are when this happens. And you pray and possibly also even hear a sermon from the religious leaders there. It'll be typical to see everyone also wearing new clothes just for the occasion. Wearing like up to your 9s and 10s there.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Hmm.
9s and 10s.
High fashion.
Oh,
As fancy as you can get yourself to
Yeah.
really?
be.
Yeah.
But then you have to eat, and you're gonna drop food on your 9s and 10s.
You gotta eat
Yeah.
elegantly a little bit, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta spoon and fork.
Like this. This is my hand sanitizer.
Bougie.
It's not good to eat.
Yep. Yeah, so you do that. You do the prayers. You put on new clothes before that. Then from there, after all the prayers, you visit your family, or you could also visit your dead relatives. It seems like a happy day because everyone's just greeting and being jolly and
Yeah.
with everybody you see. So even your neighbors, you'd exchange gifts with the kids. Elders would give money to children. Neighbors will hand each other sweets to other neighbors. And there's also, as we mentioned, a lot of these celebrations include involving also the people in need, and so you'd also often see people giving money or food to the poor or the people in need, which, as we mentioned, almsgiving is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Just like Christmas here, it's common to see Muslim-dominant cultures also have decorations in the streets with lights and even sometimes carnivals during the festival. I'm not sure about them having popcorn though, so Angel, maybe you want to start that one. Yeah, I don't know if they have popcorn in the carnivals and their festivals.
What about funnel cake?
I don't know. Well, Bianca, what was Eid Al Fitr in Dubai like?
Dubai.
Oh man, it was pretty lit. Like they have like fireworks, and you're not wrong about the carnival. It's like
Cool.
Christmas, honestly. Like, yeah, like after Ramadan, the celebration. There's a lot of like events going on, and I don't think there's popcorn. It's mostly cotton candy.
Ooh, even
Yeah.
better.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's pretty good, and there's a lot of like promotions on. There's a lot of sale, a lot of
Yeah.
promotions on food. So you like buffets are a big
Ooh.
thing. Like buffets and sishas.
Nice.
It's amazing.
That's
it's so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like the shawarma places are usually like
Yeah. Nice.
it's all good.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, so
I'd be
good.
going there.
Yeah.
I want a shawarma buffet.
Just the whole stick. I want that
Yeah.
entire.
Don't even
slice it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
give me the whole
Eat
thing.
that.
I brought my own knife. It's like, it's fine.
It's my teeth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really
Yeah. Yeah, and when it comes to food during Eid Al Fitr, it is known as the sweet Eid. So it makes sense having cotton candy, I guess, and all that. Before we go through all the different kinds of food during Eid, I do want to cover halal real quickly, just so we do. Now, the food served during the feast does vary based on where the festival is celebrated, because, this is a religious ceremony more than it is a food thing, so the food that comes in is more cultural based on the country that they're celebrating Eid. There's no actual this is the exact food you eat during Eid Al Fitr. But there are a few patterns and similarities, and like we mentioned, one of it is that all the food must be served as halal, and I think that's just a general dietary thing for Muslims.
Yeah.
Now, halal is just a set of
Yeah.
standards or laws with which how to raise, prepare, or kill the food products from anything from like animals to grains to whatever.
How do you kill your grain?
Well, harvest your grains.
Harvest.
Now, we could spend a whole episode on halal itself, so I'll only very briefly cover it. You could, yeah,
Yeah. We don't want to start a fight.
and there are like a lot of rules when it comes to these things. It could be some things like the type of animal. For example, you can't eat pork or swine because that's just not considered halal.
Yeah.
And so therefore you just can't consume pork or swine. Another,
Yeah. And just to add on that, like some butcher shops, they have a separate section
Right.
for pork. I remember that very much because when I was a kid, my mom would just skip past the other meat and just go right
Go straight for the pork
go
section.
right at the back. You can see the butcher
Right.
like, chopping it, and then like there's a curtain and it says like no
Right.
Muslims.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only section we would ever go to. Like we would just skip all the beef.
Do they hide the bacon back
Yeah,
there?
probably.
No. They come
Oh,
in like,
right.
packaged, so it's
Cool.
yeah, but they hide the bacon back there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the Blockbuster curtain, not Blockbuster,
Yeah.
but like video
Yeah.
rental things. Like
I
the
felt
porn is in
so
the back.
I felt like a VIP with my mom. Like, oh, we're going at the back. Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
the
Yep.
special things.
Yeah. Now, of course, other rules also include things that are based on the diet of the animals being killed. So, for example, the animal has to be a herbivore. It can't have had consumed any other animals. Or they're also...
I also agree with
Yeah.
eating vegetarians.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna eat Jamie.
All the vegetarians.
Who else do we know is
Yeah.
a vegetarian?
And there are also other rules that are based more
Oh,
on
man.
preparation. So, for example, you can't cook food with alcohol.
Or you can't drink
Yeah.
any alcohol. Mhm.
There's no alcohol in any of
Consumption.
your...
It's against Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are just
Religion.
some examples of what rules and standards halal has. Again, yeah, we don't want to spend today talking about that because we have a whole load of food we're going to explore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as we
Yeah.
mentioned, Eid Al Fitr is a sweet Eid. So one similarity that you'll see during this festival around all countries is that there's a prevalence of desserts and sweets during this festival. So one
Yeah.
common sweet or fruit are dates, because in case you didn't get enough dates in Ramadan, you might as well go on a double date.
Never enough
Yeah.
dates.
Now, as we did mention, there's a lot of regional variance for the kind of food that people serve here. So what I did is I essentially just researched a bunch of different countries, and we're just going to go through the highlights that I found. I think that might be the simplest way to do this. Start.
Yes. Can maybe inspire me to
Yeah.
make some dessert.
Now, starting with America.
Oh.
Worst.
Bernie.
Go from the worst to the best, right? One interesting thing
It's only uphills from here,
Exactly.
guys.
one interesting thing I found about American Muslims are that a common destination during Eid Al Fitr is your nearby six.
White Castle.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'd be cool. All the Muslims driving to White Castle.
They want the sliders.
Close, but they actually go to the nearby Six Flags amusement parks. Yeah, the reason being
really?
is that
For the funnel cakes.
sure, yeah.
It's an amusement.
Yeah, but
park.
apparently it's because
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
have
Muslim
good
vendors that they allow in the amusement parks during Eid Al
Um,
Fitr, which provides for a variety of different halal foods from
Yeah.
around the world.
Clearly, I've never been to Six
Yeah,
Flags on a
apparently
good day.
not. You're missing out. You got to go in May this year.
Oh man, I just
Yeah.
go for the funnel cakes, man.
I don't think I've ever been to a Six Flags. I don't even know what it is. Why are there Six
Oh, it's
Flags?
great. The rides are. I don't
I
know.
thought
why
America
there's
only
Six
had one
Flags,
flag.
but
Um,
you did. They also have
Oh.
Flag Day, which is a real holiday, by the way.
Jeez.
But yeah, I don't know why it's called Six Flags, but it has like the more
Oh.
extreme rides. So things will have like
Oh,
loop, loop,
fun.
loop, 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 or there's a lot of upside down. There's one called the Colossus where you just go up forever. And then you do
Oh,
like
nice.
one big drop, and it's like impossible to keep your eyes open
Right.
on that one because
I
of,
I
like,
wouldn't.
just like
If-
how your blood is flowing in your body. Like it's just like leaves your head at one point, and you just can't even open your eyes.
Oh my god! Like like my skin would just like peel off.
Yeah,
and
it
then-
was like this. The last time I was there, flew
Oh no.
at like high velocity. Oh, that one hurt so bad.
Ah,
So yeah, that
yeah.
was my Colossus experience.
That they should just give you guys like
Oh jeez.
eye
Goggles.
goggles. Yeah.
Yeah, if I got goggles, it would be a lot easier. But it was like so fast going down. It was such a long drop too. You're
Yeah.
just like dropping
Yeah.
forever, and like there's stuff in the air.
Yeah.
Hurts.
I just don't think that's safe at that point. Like,
Yeah.
Probably
Your-
not. But
your
it was like,
neck,
Yeah.
your neck might snap.
It was early
Yeah.
2000s. I don't know. There's no safety precautions. We were all wearing denim.
Yeah, life was Final Destination.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
fun Six Flags.
Which one was that one?
Because I also saw the actor for
Oh,
Angel.
cool.
He was there. David Boreanaz
Nice.
was there. Eating funnel
Is that why
cake.
you have a fascination for funnel cake?
No, I just love funnel cake
Fair enough.
anyway.
Another interesting tradition in America is actually spice cookies, which possibly roots from gingerbread cookies during Christmas. But a lot of Muslim Americans seem to have taken that on as a treat or sweet to give during Eid Al Fitr.
I thought it was like spicy, like literally spicy.
Yeah.
Cookies, which would be.
They probably use, I don't think, they probably use different things like cinnamon and
Like
nutmeg instead of
nutmeg?
gingerbread, yeah. Which actually I like, I prefer those
Oh,
spices
okay.
for cookies more than gingerbread too. In North Africa, Morocco or Algeria features lasida or tagine. Lasida is a breakfast dish seasoned with couscous with butter and honey. It's kind of like a rice pudding, I guess.
Wonder if you can make it with quinoa.
Maybe you could try it. Yeah.
Why
I
did you
always
say
thought
it like
couscous-
that?
Quinoa.
I always thought couscous and quinoa because it's spelled like quinoa, but it's pronounced quinoa. So every time I say it, I'm like quinoa. It makes no sense when I'm picturing the word.
There was
Yeah.
like a comma in that
Quin,
word.
comma, noa.
Wah.
Quinoa.
Quinoa. Yeah, no, I can't say that word without
Yeah.
laughing because it just sounds so stupid.
The way you say it, your face is just like frozen, like. And
We'll give you the recipe for lasida, and you could try to make it with quinoa.
Quinoa. Yeah, I don't want to go to the store to get couscous.
Fair enough.
So I hope I have the rest of the
Yeah.
ingredients here.
oh man, I can't
Yeah.
wait for that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another dish, like we said, is tagine, which is a dinner dish. It includes chicken, mutton, and cooked with dried fruits. It's sweet and savory, and it sounds like a delicious stew.
That sounds good. I want some sweet and
Yeah,
savory
right?
stew. There's not that much of that in my normal
No.
cooking, which is not
It's crazy. Yeah.
my normal
Like
diet.
a lot of
I
these
guess.
dishes use a lot of
Mhm.
fruits when they cook their meats, and it sounds really good. It's just, I'd be so scared to try it.
Yeah,
It's,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Give it to me.
In South Asia, countries like India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh have the dish called sheer kurma, which is served, it's toasted noodles called sevian, and served with almonds and dates in a milky like soup.
Oh,
sounds
sounds
so
good.
refreshing.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, there's a dish called lapis legit, which is legit. Yeah, lapis
Legit.
legit.
No, I don't.
Which is a cake of sorts. It looks super fancy actually, because it's also in English it's known as the 1,000-layer cake. So it's a little bit labor intensive because you bake the cake one layer at a time. But
No.
despite what the name suggests, it's not actually 1,000 layers, but it is quite a number of layers. It does look really good because I think that
it's like
Probably
one,
at least
Yeah.
10 layers.
one layer per Ramadan day.
it's a game of patience. Yeah.
You'll have 30. Oh no, it's
Yeah.
less than 30 because
Yeah.
it's a lunar month.
But
So you have 28 layers.
yeah.
29.
If you look at the photos, it looks like angel cake, but then you toast the top part, put the next layer until it toasts the top part, and then you keep layering. It looks really cool.
That sounds good.
It
Very
is time consuming.
Unless you have a lot of ovens.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's how it works.
Like-
Yeah. We could try that.
You have, okay, imagine if you
25
just had like
ovens, yeah.
20 easy bake ovens. So you can make like your
Yeah.
finished product would be like only this big,
Yeah.
but it can be like
Instead of, yeah, because I mean, for the price of like one regular oven appliance, you could get 30 easy bake ovens.
easy bake.
Money saved, 30 times the power right there.
or you can ask 20 friends to like make the same one.
Ah, there you go.
Uh-huh,
Yeah, good.
crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing.
Come on, H, I thought you were the master crowdsourcer.
Shut up. No, I just want 20 easy bake ovens.
Yeah, well, it does, like, lapis legit does look super good, delicious. I kind of really want to try that.
Yeah.
In East Africa or West Asia, like countries like Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, or Egypt or Iraq, they have a common sweet there, which is kind of like butter cookies. The names for each country are different, but they're kind of similar in its composition. Some of the differences are just more of like the nuts they use and the name that they call it, but essentially more or less kind of like butter cookies. Another common dish around this area you could find is asida, which in countries like Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, or Libya, it's like a jelly-like dessert, kind of like flan. Have you ever tried this one? Asida?
I've had flan.
Aseeda? No.
Let me Google this. I haven't had that exact. I've had flan before.
Bianca, did you ever try this one?
I don't think so. The only desserts.
Asida.
Oh, it looks good.
Wait,
Yeah, it's like a little flan thing. Eeda.
AS.
Cooked wheat flour lump of dough. It looks like a donut almost, like a little volcano because it has like a dip.
But it's like a flan.
No.
Because it's like jelly.
It's like a flan. What's in the middle?
It's sugar, yeah.
It's like sugar.
Sugar. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. The only one I've tried is like they're all like pistachios.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Pistachios.
Like baklava.
Oh, nice.
And then like different like sweets. Yeah, they're like different nuts that they just like
Oh,
put
cool.
in a platter, and you can buy like
Nice.
yeah, like one of my titas would like give us like
Nice.
2 platters.
Dang.
It's just all pistachio
wow.
sweets.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
In Southeast Asia, countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, or even parts of the Philippines. Oh, my favorite. Rendang is the meal of choice. So rendang is essentially a spicy coconut curry dish, which is so addicting. It's usually served with beef, but then you mix it with rice or roti or whatever you want, and it's just, oh my goodness. Can't have enough of it. In Russia, manti is a dish of choice. This is interesting, actually, coming from Russia. It's stuffed dumplings similar to Chinese dumplings, but contain lamb or beef.
It's sweet.
It seemed like it was more savory, but it's like their dish there for some reason.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Russians love their dumplings. I mean, not that I know for sure, but I went to a little food court place that's Russian, and all they had were dumplings.
It seems like a Russian dish, because every time we cover Russia, it's always a dumpling.
Yeah, it's always.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like it's.
They have like 3 different kinds of dumplings, and I didn't know how to order.
Couldn't you just like pick a number? Or?
Yeah, I picked a random number.
Nice.
And it was good. Like, it was
Yeah.
good dumpling. It's a little
Yeah.
plain, but I think that's just how they are. You need to
season.
Yeah.
I think I like heavy-handed seasoning. As you can tell from my cooking.
Lots of anything. If I taste the meat, it's not good.
You know what? I like every time I played it back, I was like, this is so good.
I did not mean to put that much in. I like it heavy-handed, but that was just like, whoa!
Because like I was skimming through the video and I was like, what is this huge spike in the audio? And I like went straight for the F word.
Bonk! That was my bad.
Oh, that's spam.
It happens every time too. And I'm like, it's fine. I'll be more gentle this. Oh fuck.
At least towards the end, you learned. You're like, maybe I should use a spoon.
It's already too late.
Next time. Yeah.
Next time, when I'm making my
Quinoa.
dessert.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I probably don't have any of the things.
I think it's just honey and butter.
Yeah, I don't have it. Don't
well.
have it.
Replace it with hot sauce.
Okay, I have that. We're good.
And lastly, in Turkey, the sweet choice is none other than Turkish delight, or lokum.
Did you guys know that I didn't know there was a difference between Turkish delight and afternoon delight? They're the same thing. So that song, like Afternoon Delight, I thought they were singing about the candies.
Oh boy. Afternoon delight.
And I'm like, wow, those aren't even that good.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Turkish delight, I don't know. They
Yeah.
look really fun, but like, not to be confused
Afternoon
with afternoon delight.
Nope.
Okay, moving
Yeah, well,
on.
that's pretty much it for Eid Al Fitr. It's really just like 3 days of eating and celebrating and being happy. It
Sounds
like
like a good time.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
sweets. And like every episode we ask 2 questions: is it healthy and is it good? It's probably
I'm gonna
not.
say no to healthy.
It's the most likely not healthy during Eid Al Fitr. It is a time to celebrate and have fun, so your mental health might be good, but physically speaking, you're gonna put on some weight on this one. Yeah.
Diabetes.
As much as for the food, it's really, for a lot of the Muslims, I think it's a time to indulge, right? It's not the healthiest time, but it's not like they eat all this sweets every day of the year.
Yeah. And also just,
You're
Yeah.
coming out of a fast too.
I'm sure there's more discipline after you come
Yeah.
from Ramadan. Like, you're like, just
Yeah.
one for today. Like,
Just
Yeah.
one bowl.
yeah.
Just one big afternoon delight.
Oh boy. And we ask whether it's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I think for this, all 3 parts of this series, that's really my answer for all of it. Is it healthy? Probably not. Is it good?
Questionable.
Yup. 1
Yes.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to try some
Yeah.
of these desserts that I've never heard of, like the
Yeah,
lasida,
lasida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
lasida, and the
Yeah.
dough ball one, the
Yeah,
flan
I
ball.
think that'd be fun to try too.
Sounds good too.
Not the Turkish delight though.
No.
Send Angel all your afternoon and Turkish delights.
Please don't.
Um,
Yes, my email address is nick@geekhappynetwork.
what?
What?
Address is at
Nick's
Richard's.
house. Nick's house.
MIKHAUSSE.
Nick Hausa.
Yeah. So Angel, you still eating Cheetos?
No, I have moved on from Cheetos.
That's good.
Did nothing.
Someone please. Oh, I see veggie straws behind you, so you have that.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, well, that's the episode on Eid Al Fitr. Yeah, we're gonna cover Eid Al Adha in the next episode to finish off this 3-part series.
The trilogy.
I was gonna do 5. I don't know why. The trilogy.
The trilogy. This is 6. But
Trilogy of Eids in the Muslim. It's been a really fun learning about all of this, actually.
yeah, knew absolutely nothing. I thought Ramadan was a day.
It's called Ramadan, not Ramaday.
Dawn is just 1 hour of the day, sometimes less. Okay.
Yep. All right. Peace.
Yeah.
Bye. Just
Gestures.
Cut.
This is Smörgåsbord.
Have a ritual, myth, or something strange you want us to explore? Send us a message through Facebook at Geek Happy Network or email us at team@geekhappynetwork.com. We'd love to hear from our fellow Smorgies. This show was created by Angel Lynn and Mick Narciso, hosted by Angel Lynn and Mick Narciso, edited by Mick Narciso and Bianca Gueco, logo and graphics by Angel Lynn, music by Mick Narciso, and videography by Bianca Gueco.